This is a quick video on quiz number 6 and the solutions to it. This was one of our in-class quizzes. The first problem that you were asked to do was to look at the function f of x is equal to the square root of x squared plus 1. And you were to find f double prime of x, and you were to find f double prime of 1, and you were to the last part find the equation of the tangent line to the function f of x at x is equal to 1. Okay, so we're gonna look at I'm just gonna show the answers real quick, and then I can go through and show some of the answers by some of the details by hand. But let's just get to the answer really quick. Here's the function f of x. Okay, and here is f prime of x. So that's the answer you should have gotten for f prime of x. The derivative of the inside function was 2x, and then there's a 2x, and then there's a 2 in the denominator, which canceled. So this is f prime of x. You should double check, see if you got that now. And f double prime of x, there's the answer for f double prime of x. You could have also put, let's see if maybe this was your answer. That would be a simplified form of f double prime of x. Okay, so this is f double prime of x, and this is a simplified version of it by getting a common denominator. You may have something different, but when you computed f double prime of 1, you should have gotten 1 over 2 square root of 2. So f double prime of 1 is 1 over 2 square root of 2. You may have also rationalized that to put the square root of 2 square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Just multiply top and bottom by square root of 2. And then you will get the square root of 2 over 4. That may also be your answer. Okay. So the equation of the tangent line to f prime, that was the problem, to f prime, the equation of the tangent line to f prime is y, or tangent line L of x, is equal to f double prime of 1 plus f double prime of 1 times x minus 1. So f double prime of 1 is 1 over 2 square root of 2. F prime of 1 over square root of 2. So your answer should have been 1 over square root of 2 plus 1 over 2 square root of 2 times x minus 1. Okay. If you didn't use any of those, if you didn't use any of the fractions, but you instead did your answer as decimals, the answer would be f prime of 1 plus f double prime of 1 times x, times x minus 1. And that would have been your answer. What was that? 0.707? 0.707 plus 0.353 times x minus 1. So either one of those answers I would accept. Okay. The second problem, so there's the answer. Okay. Probably the only difficulty was f double prime of x, so let's do just a couple steps by hand to show where we got some of these answers. So remember that your function f of x was the square root of x squared plus 1. So f prime of x was 1 over 2 square root of x squared plus 1. That's the derivative of the square root of u function. And then you have to multiply by 2x, so you'll get x over the square root of x squared plus 1. So f double prime of x, that's going to take the quotient rule, where this is your function f and this is your function g. So you'll have low d high minus high d low. Whoops, backwards. Low d high minus high d low divided by low squared. Okay, so f prime is 1. That's pretty easy because f is equal to x. The function g, square root of x squared plus 1. And that means that g prime of x is 1 over 2 square root of x squared plus 1 times 2x, which is what we had earlier. So the answer for f double prime of x, the function g is the square root of x squared plus 1, times f prime times 1 minus f, which is x. G prime is x divided by square root of x squared plus 1. And I need to divide all that by g squared. G was square root, so that would be x squared plus 1. So if I'm writing my answer for f double prime of x, trying to write it maybe a little bit neater, it would be the square root x squared plus 1 minus x squared divided by the square root of x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 1. Now that's the answer I'm going to write. Here's the answer that Wolfram Alpha might have given you, or this is the simplified answer. But no matter which form that you put, f double prime of 1, that would be the square root of 2 minus 1 over the square root of 2 over 2. And that simplifies if you get a common denominator. That'd be the square root of 2 times square root of 2 over square root of 2 minus 1 over square root of 2 over 2. And that answer will be square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2 minus 1 over square root of 2, all that divided by 2, which is 1 over the square root of 2, 1 over 2 square root of 2, which is what we got for f double prime. So no matter what form you write f double prime in, f double prime of 1 should come out to be the same answer. So that was the first problem, and its tangent line. The next problem that was asked was to, for each class there were 2 different questions here. So if you had the function f of x is equal to x squared times g of 5x, the question was to find, for one class, was to find f prime of x. And the second class had to find f double prime of x. Okay, so f prime of x is the first times the derivative of the second function. This is just the product rule. Plus the second function times the derivative of the first function. Okay, so x squared multiplied by g prime of 5x times 5 plus g of 5x times 2x. Okay, you may wish to rewrite that as 5x squared times g double prime of x, times g prime of 5x plus 2x times g of 5x. Okay, so there's f prime. If you had to continue on to find f double prime, okay, it would be the first 5x squared times the derivative of this would be g double prime of 5x times 5 plus the second g prime of 5x times 25x. And that would have been the derivative of this piece. Okay. Now we would need to pick up plus the derivative of this would be the first times g prime of 5x times 5 plus the second g of 5x times the derivative of the first, which is 2. So if you had to simplify that a little bit, let me see, here is a g prime of 5x, 25x, and here is 10x g prime of 5x, so that should make 35x g prime of 5x. Those two would combine right here. This is all by itself at 25x squared, g double prime of 5x. That would be this piece. And then this is all by itself at plus 2g of 5x. And there would be your answer for f double prime of x. Okay. Alright, so ends this video on quiz number 6 solutions.